Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people!
Single!
Yeah!
Single it!
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the large program. This is The Odds Couple. It is Chapter 6, Week 42. That means 10 weeks from Week 0 in college football. 10 weeks away from Week 0. But we got a lot going on in the meantime. We got some NBA Finals, the NHL Final also going on. We have the United States Open tournament, which is underway. We have the College World Series, which is getting underway tomorrow. All of those things to talk about. A UFL Championship to talk about. Is that this weekend or next weekend? It is this weekend?
Who knows? Nobody knows.
We think so. We think it's this weekend. If not, we're going to preview it for
USL
2 weeks.
This weekend.
It is this weekend. Okay, good.
Didn't it fold?
No, UFL. Did I say USFL?
Nobody knows.
Okay.
UFL is a conference in the
That's a
UFL.
conference in the UFL, yeah, with the XFL as well.
Yep.
There's a weird echo going on in
Good
here.
thing we're
Do
going
you
to
hear
have
this?
that update coming up.
Wait, is there still an echo?
Yeah.
Where?
I don't know.
It's the speaker.
It can't be the speaker. The speaker's pulled down.
Then there's an echo coming through
All
somewhere.
right. I'll figure it out.
All right.
It's like that R. Kelly song.
Which
Oh, yeah?
one?
Echo.
Oh.
Interesting reference to start the show.
What a
the
reference,
echo?
Lane.
This is The Odds Couple. I am Rob Fisher, and sitting next to me is Lang Whitaker.
Hey.
Hello, Lang. How are you?
Great. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well.
Watched a lot of U.S. Open this morning.
Are you?
Yeah, it was great. I had a lot of work to do, and I sat down and just had it on all morning long.
All right.
Man, what a course.
Tough? Is it playing tough?
Yeah, they somebody, I forgot who it was. It wasn't Rory. Said it was probably the toughest course in the world right now.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, it's truly crazy when you're watching.
There's one
it's
hole
like, these guys all look just frustrated as hell.
I think it was DeChambeau who said it. There it goes. There's one hole where I think it's the 9th hole. The putting green, the hole is in the front of the green, but the green is like 100 yards long.
Right.
Because the other half of the green is like a practice green, but it's still connected to the actual thing. So like guys were practicing 100-yard putts the other day, just kind of like trying to skip it across the water at the Masters, like it's uphill. So from the top, you can putt it all the way down. There's a bunch of stuff like that. And then the rough is just like crazy thick all the way around. So if you get off the fairway, you're in trouble.
Yeah. John Roser, how are you, man?
Doing well.
Good.
Doing well.
Good to see you.
Yeah. We got sports going on.
A lot of sports.
golf this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm moving out east, and so I've been going through a bunch of stuff. You don't realize, Devin Walker was talking about this because he recently moved downtown. He said, you don't realize how much stuff you have until you move. And all the Grizzly stuff that I'm finding that I still have, like just giveaways, things like that. And we're talking going back to like the Core 4 days. So this is going to be some of it I'm going to give away. But I posted some pictures of some of the stuff on Twitter. And then there's some stuff that I'm just not going to give away because I still like, and it means a lot to me. But yeah, it's crazy. Just going through all that stuff, kind of memory lane. Mm-hmm. Memory lane, yeah.
We're redoing my son's bedroom, and he wants to have it like NBA themed. And he was like, I want to put a lot of memorabilia. He's 12. Like, what memorabilia? So he
Does he want a fat head, a jaw fat head? My buddy has one, I think.
We'll take it. We're in the process of doing that. But so memorabilia means my stuff. So I actually have been going through all my old crap from my slam days and stuff. And I found 2 days ago a finger sleeve from Reggie Miller. It's got 31 sewn into it.
Oh, that's cool.
That he used to wear when he played.
I got a Pau Gasol one.
Yeah,
number
I found
16,
it on the floor in the locker room one day, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Our Pau's actually says PG. It's a 2-finger deal. Yeah.
I used to have a sweatband of Karl Malone or somebody that had their like name sewn into it that I had on my phone at work when you had a desk phone that you actually used.
Right.
Like I used to have one of those too. But I got a bunch of like just sort of stuff through the years.
Yeah.
In boxes.
And again, you just you start moving. You're like, man, this is a lot of stuff. What am I going to do with it?
You put it in the attic and forget.
But yeah, I got a storage facility that I split with a friend of mine. So that helps.
Is it mostly your cards in there or what?
No, that does not go there. I have thrown away a lot of cards though, like a lot that just are in boxes that are loose and random. Oh my gosh, like thousands of them I've just thrown away. So yeah.
All right. CJ Hurt is here. Hello, CJ.
Hello there.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Good. You got a lot of memorabilia at your house?
I got a stop sign. I've got
A stop sign.
I've got a bus stop sign.
That's
used
not
to
memorabilia.
do is it's memorabilia from the cities I'm in.
That's like that's like municipal ingredients.
When
Pretty sure it's
storms-
illegal too. What you have?
Maybe if they can prove it. Allegedly, they're there. There are when storms come through.
Yeah.
For one of them, when signs come down, I was like, oh, there are a couple of bus stop signs from various places, Nashville, Tuskegee, where have you. And I would just grab those and bring them back to the college apartment. And now they've made moves with me. My sister had them for a little bit, one of those type things where, all right, it's time to redecorate my room. I'm a preteen. I'm a teenager. I want cool stuff in it. Give me your cool stuff. So she had it for a while, and then she aged out of it. So I got it back here a couple years ago. So that's
Somebody
all I
in
got.
college, some guy I knew in college had a traffic light.
Those are huge.
Yeah, you don't realize how big it is.
Yeah, dude.
The thing was enormous. And it had like a battery operated system to it. It was just huge. The guy was like, hey, I got a traffic light. But like it took like the whole hallway of people to like move it in and get it up the elevator and set it up and everything. Yeah, you don't think about how big those things are in context.
No. Any illegal stuff in your pad, Roser?
No, I don't
Good.
think so. There's
No
somebody who lives
souvenirs in
around
our-
the street from me who has a Mendenhall
Yeah.
A Mendenhall sign?
street
sign.
sign just like in their front yard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, something more for the backyard.
Yeah.
I think like whatever.
Who are you? Who are
They
you?
like
You
to live
ask.
dangerously. I don't know.
Do you have any illegal stuff, Fish?
I don't know. Well, I did. I used to. Well, it's not really illegal because it was thrown in the trash dumpster, but it was it was one of the jerseys that hang at FedEx Forum. They used to
The
be
retired
jerseys.
jerseys?
No, the jerseys that had like the charity things.
Oh, yeah. Like the name, like the
players' charity.
Pals Posse.
Pals
Yeah.
Posse.
Yeah.
Mine was Ewing's Movers and Shakers.
Oh, there we go.
And I had it.
who Ewing was it?
It's Ewing's Ewing Moving Company.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was like a player. The players.
Yeah,
like
it was a moving company. It was sponsor of the team. And they were changing the banners out, and I got that one, and I had it hung up in the ceiling of my dungeon, and it was kind of cool.
pretty cool.
It was kind of creepy there too. All right, it's a big show here today, and boy, the week started out just fantastic with one team needing to be filling the Omaha College World Series, the Men's College World Series. There was one team still needed. Duke was playing Murray State, and Murray State got the win 5-4 as they beat Duke, and the next stop is Omaha. Now, what's interesting about that picture is I wonder if that was the first dog pile or the second dog pile. That's what was interesting about the game. They had two dog piles.
That's true, yeah.
You had the game end because the umpire decided to call a bold, we're calling interference on a slide at second, so the runner's out, the batter's out, double play, game is over, dog pile ensues, and then they go to the replay, and they come back and they reverse the call. So then the runner's on first, and the only thing I can think of in my mind is they're going to lose this game.
Yeah. After the first dog pile.
It felt like this is going. I mean, this
Yeah.
is going to be a horrible leading story on SportsCenter tonight because they had the early dog pile. But they get the guy to ground out. They end up dogpiling again, and they are Omaha bound, Murray State. So congratulations to
The Racers.
The Racers, yeah, that was
Racing
fun.
to Omaha.
That was exciting.
As John
And so
Moran
now,
said.
we are now 8 teams are in Omaha, and the schedule plays out where 2 games will be played on Friday, and 2 games will be played on Saturday. Arizona, Coastal Carolina, Louisville, Oregon State on Friday, and then on Saturday you got Murray State against UCLA, and then an SEC tilt, LSU and Arkansas, the only 2 remaining SEC teams, Arkansas and LSU, and one of them will have a loss after game 1. Are we excited about the College World Series?
I think so.
Are we
More
fired
so
up?
than we have been in recent years, it feels like. Like you said, it's so hard to win the College World Series and compete. I feel like Murray State has a shot. UCLA is not like a top 10 seed. I think they're number 15 or something like that. So I'm rooting for Murray State, maybe Coastal Carolina. You guys got to go underdogs, right?
Yeah.
But it would be fun to see an SEC team win this thing, just so the men and the women would be SEC. Because it does just mean more.
It does just mean more. Roser, you a fan?
Yeah, Murray State's obviously that's
Fun story.
It's an incredible story, and they got a shot. Like they're there, so they have a shot. I think for Arkansas, the thing like Arkansas, they've never won it, but they have traditionally a really good baseball team. Typically, they may have a couple down years. For the most part, Arkansas's been a really, really good baseball program, and they've never been able to win it all. So I think, go Hogs.
Go Hogs. All right. CJ, rooting interest?
I think that the odds are Arkansas or LSU's going to win it. Those two have the two best odds in the field by far. I think they're plus 200 and plus 260 or something like that. And
sucks they have to play each other.
Then everything else is the next closest one might be UCLA at -6. So from a gambling standpoint, I know it's plus money, but whoever wins that Arkansas LSU series, that's probably going to be the one who wins the whole thing. So if I was gambling on it, I'd put money on either LSU or Arkansas. I might put some on one and sprinkle a little bit on the other one just to try and make something back off of that.
It's so it's so hard even when you finally get to Omaha with the double elimination, and it's just we talked about it last week. It's baseball.
Yeah.
When it's double eliminate, you can lose one game to anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody can win on any given day, and that's what's great about these 8 teams and the Murray States and the Coastal Carolinas, because you give them a shot. I mean, look at what they just did in the Super Regionals to get here, and what they've been able to do scoring runs.
And Coastal won 2016?
Yeah, they won in
Coastal,
2016.
Didn't Coastal win?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is it's the first time they're back at the College World Series since then, since that national championship. All right, we'll talk more about the College World Series. We'll look at the bracket and also the lines for the games coming up this weekend as well. But the NBA Finals continued last night, and the Indiana Pacers knock off the Oklahoma City Thunder 116-107, outscoring them 32-18 in the fourth quarter. Indiana outscoring, finishing off the Thunder to take a 2-1 series lead over the Oklahoma City Thunder. Are we shocked, surprised? I mean, we have to be a little surprised.
I was surprised.
Nobody was picking the Indiana Pacers to win the series.
The Pacers seemed like they figured out how to match the physicality of the Thunder, and especially defensively. And you got an ethical hooper out there in Tyrese Halliburton leading the way for this Pacers team. How about this stat? Free throw attempts so far in the finals. Who's the leading free throw attempter?
Probably SGA.
SGA, 26. Number 2, Jalen Williams, 24. Number 3, Pascal Siakam, 21. You know how many free throws Tyrese Halliburton has attempted in the finals?
10.
0.
Yeah.
Well, he
shot a
needs to
free
get to the
throw.
line more.
He doesn't
He's
go
an
to the
ethical
paint.
hooper.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
He
ethical
shoots.
hooper.
He'll stop.
He doesn't go to the paint. He'll
No,
stop
he
and hit a
doesn't.
floater.
Yeah, he stops and shoots floaters. He doesn't go all the way to the basket. I think the most concerning thing for the Thunder has been that there have been 2 games that have come down to crunch time here in the final 3 minutes of the game, and Indiana's won both of them.
Well, wasn't that the one thing that Thunder weren't very good at? They were great at everything all season, but I think they were 1-5 in games that were
They blow
within
teams
5
out.
points,
They blew most of their teams out. That's why their point differential. It's a historically great regular
the Denver
season.
game in that series as well, game 1 against the Nuggets, a close game. What did they do? They
choked.
They did choke.
Yeah.
I think they wore out SGA last night.
They've worn out the
clip.
Thunder,
There's
right?
about 3.5 minutes left to go in the game, and Daniel called timeout, and SGA was hunched over.
Yeah.
Complete. He's the only player for the Thunder that was totally. Caruso had his hands on his knees, but at least had his head up. SGA was totally hunched over on the court. He was absolutely gassed. He played insanely selfish basketball last night. The great players can see what they did, what the other team did to him, which they trapped him a bunch. Every time he touched the ball, he didn't bring a ball up the court that much last night because they just started pressuring. The great players are able to adjust to this. So we'll see what he does for Game 4.
I'll say this. It seems like every time Caruso or Dort gets an open 3, they make it. Doesn't it? Those dudes do not. Feels like Caruso shooting 1,000% during the series. But if you can make Caruso put the ball on the floor and make decisions, that's where he kind of gets in trouble. A lot of those guys are the same way. I feel like for the Thunder to have a chance going forward, they've got to figure out how to get Holmgren more involved on both ends. Because last night they had a big night from SGA and Jalen Williams, and Holmgren I think was 0 for 6 on threes. So they got to figure out a way to get him more involved. They also, like, for a team that's been so great with depth all season, the Pacers look like the team that has had the more productive bench so far in this series.
CJ, Pacers, they've been the better team for 2 of the 3 games.
For one of the games, they were the
For
better.
one of the-
for-
yeah,
they were the better
right?
team. That game 1, they led for all of
3 seconds.
0.3 of a second, right? Like that's what they led by in that game, and they came away with the win. So don't want to take anything away from them. And it looked like the Thunder were going to run away with that thing early. The Pacers were shooting above 50% in the first quarter, but they had 7 turnovers. They couldn't get out of their own way. It was like, I've seen this play out before. Pacers are just going to turn the ball over all game long, and the Thunder are going to run away with this. It was like a 10, 12-point lead in the first quarter, and then the Pacers started taking care of the ball to their credit, and you look up, and they've got a 4-point lead going into half. And so it is, all right, if you take care of the basketball, you're shooting a good enough percentage to win some of these games. You just got to take care of the basketball, and they did so last night. Also, they got big games from people who you need to get big games from. The Thunder are so good at keeping your number 1, your number 2, hell, your number 3, and probably your number 4 scoring option in check, making it so frustrating for them. Thinking about what they were able to do to the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, and Jamal Murray, just how they made them look. They made Murray look average. They made Jokic look good, and that's the best player in the world, right? Like, that's somebody everybody wants on their team, and they made him look good, and that says something there. Halliburton had a big night last night, but 15 and 17 in game 1 and game 2. Pascal Siakam had a good night last night, but it's not like his game 1 or his game 2 were really all that impressive. So they're doing it again in this series, right? They're taking away certainly your 2 best options. They got a huge game, 27 points on 22 minutes from Mathurin, and then McConnell's just everywhere. He was just everywhere, and that's what you need. Your 6th and your 7th option, they've got to have games, because that's where you'll be able to take advantage of the Thunder. Now, everybody's 6th and 7th option aren't going to be able to do that, and most 6th and 7th options aren't going to be able to do that consistently. It helps that the Pacers were at home. Role players play better at home. So here's hoping for them that trend can sort of continue. I don't think that the Pacers have been by far the better team. And it's shocking for me to say, because I didn't think this was an even series. This feels like it's an even series. It's an even matchup, and there'll be somebody having an out-of-world game, one of the superstars doing something like that, or somebody making a tragic mistake. One that's like, ooh, I can't believe he did that, and that's going to decide the series.
You know who's been, like, surprisingly good to me in this series is Miles Turner. Like, I thought he wasn't going to, like, you know, the knock on him coming out of college is that he runs funny, and he does. Like you say, he runs like someone tied his shoelaces together. But as awkward as he is, like, he's had a couple moves in this where he, like, pump fakes and drives, or pump fakes, sidestep, shoots the 3. He's got a lot of blocked shots. Like, he's been, I mean, for a guy who's going to be a free agent coming up here, like, this is a heck of a time to put in this kind of performance that he's.
He might have had the defensive sequence of the game last night when he had the block on Chet. Chet got the block back, drove to the rim on him, and Turner still stuffed him again, and the ball went out of bounds off Chet.
Yeah.
I mean, he has had some massive defensive plays. There were a couple closeouts he had last night that just made the Thunder pump fake for a second. It looked like they were going to have something wide open, and Turner closed out well enough that Dort had to pump fake, move to the side, and just wasted a little bit more time, and OKC ended up not getting off as good of a shot as they thought they would.
Thunder have shot 20 more free throws than the
Because they're
Pacers.
unethical? Was that why?
Dishonorable. Unethical.
All right, so we all picked the Pacers. I mean, all picked the Thunder.
Yeah.
I mean, would you change your pick today?
Maybe.
Do you believe the Pacers are going to win the series?
It feels like right now, if you had to pick, I'd take the Pacers because, I mean, they've got home court now, right? They've got the advantage. So
Yeah.
I'd probably lean Pacers. It's hard, look, because the Thunder were so good all season long, but it also felt like, especially in Game 3, the Pacers figured some stuff out. And we'll see if the Thunder can adjust to this. They played the way they played. They tried changing the lineup for this series in game 1 and came out and lost. So
Which was stupid.
They haven't the adjustments they made have been a little questionable. I also think like it feels like no one like the Thunder, that half court offense they run is pretty much just go one-on-one. You know, clear it out, go one-on-one, maybe a pick and roll. It's not like complex that often.
Well, that's what the issue has been when the game has been able to be close.
Yeah.
When the game gets close, the game gets tight at the end. Indiana's won both of those games. Things get more free-flowing for them, and for the Thunder, it bogs down, and it becomes SGA, go one-on-one, and go make a play. And last night with a minute and a half left, he just decides to pass up a wide-open Dort. It was Cheddar Dort. No, it was Dort. It was Dort. He passes it up. And then just goes dance. Long step back contested 2 over Siakam. Misses. Siakam takes off down the court. SGA takes off with him. They throw it up to Siakam, and SGA makes a lazy defensive reach. And Siakam just turns around, lays it in. Now it's 112-104, ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Ball game right there. Yeah, he was not his usual self last night. He was.
Did you think it was a flagrant foul on Neesmith on the
I
play?
thought that was a flagrant foul. I thought
I didn't think
in
so.
like
but
1990, it's not.
Yeah.
But in the NBA today, that's a flagrant.
the announcers were like quickly, oh, that's a flagrant foul. But then they went to Steve Javy, and he's like, no, not a flagrant.
Yeah.
was
When he
weird.
brought his arms up and then went down, I was like, that's.
But to me, that's not a wind-up. The wind-up's when you see the guy reach way back and
Yeah.
swing, you know? Like,
Yeah.
So-
I just thought in the spirit of how they use, and the spirit of the rule and how they call it now.
Yeah.
It's flagrant.
Yeah.
But.
Are you picking the Pacers, or would
No,
you stick
I'm
with
going to
OKC?
stick with the Thunder, but I will. I
you were Dr.
do
Thunder.
think. I do tend to think. I think the Thunder may have to win 3 straight because I know Game 7 would be on OKC's home court, but there's nothing like booty hole tight kind of game than a Game 7. And when these games get tight down the stretch, Indiana's won both of them. So.
throughout the playoffs.
But
they won.
if SGA, if he's one of those greats, or as they would say, one of the ones, he's going to respond Friday night.
CJ, you sticking with OKC, or?
Yeah, I'm sticking with them. The series is much, much closer than I thought it was going to be. I just can't imagine that the Thunder are going to have almost 20 turnovers again. Right? Didn't they had 18, 20 turnovers in Game 3?
Man, some of them were so bad last night. So
as
bad.
a professional basketball player, inbounds passes should not be getting stolen off of a make.
Especially
right?
by T.J. McConnell.
That shouldn't happen.
Right.
And it didn't happen. It didn't happen once. It happened a whole bunch of times in that game. They were just they were uncharacteristically careless with the basketball. They had over 20 turnovers in that game, and I'm pretty sure that they only had one game this season, regular season and playoffs up to this point, where they had over 20 turnovers. I think that they are not fine. I want to be clear. I don't think they're fine, but I do think they are still the better team, just not the much better team anymore. This is a whole lot closer than what I thought initially.
Yeah, Shea with 24, 8, and 4 last night. Tyrese Halliburton had 22, 9 boards, and 11 assists in the win for the Pacers. In the National Hockey League, we got a game tonight. Game 4 of the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers will be played in Sunrise, Florida. In Game 3, it was all Florida Panthers. 6-1. 6-1? Bobrovsky gave up just 1 goal, made 32 saves. Stuart Skinner was not good. 5 of them got past him, made 18 saves.
And there was a fight,
And
right?
oh man, it got ugly.
It was lame. It was incredible. At one point,
Third period, it was everybody.
before the third period, at one point they're skating down the ice and somebody just takes another player's glove and throws it into the stands. Dude responds by grabbing a water bottle and spraying him in the face with it on the bench. And then the third period happens and cross check comes, stick breaks over my man's back, which holy hell, all 5 players out there fighting. And that's what I wanted to see towards the end of that basketball game, where damn, is it a flagrant or not? Jalen Williams, you're there and nobody is around. You handle it. Just go up there and shove my man in the face. Like, it's fine. You can't, the technical fouls don't roll over. So you get tossed the last minute and a half of that basketball game, you're going to lose it anyways. Go ahead and send a message. Messages were sent on both sides, from the Panthers and from the Oilers in Game 3.
I thought more so from the Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought a lot of times in that third period, Edmonton guys were trying to bait them into fighting, and the Florida guys just laughed at them.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more frustrating when you're trying to bait a guy into fighting and he laughs at you. I mean, you just look at the scoreboard. Look at the scoreboard.
Know.
It was yeah. I mean, it was brutal, and I thought Edmonton. I don't know. I thought they tried too hard to send the message. I mean, the message was and it just, I don't think it got across. I don't think Florida cared.
That's the knock on what happened to them in Game 3 was they started playing the Panthers style, and then they got frustrated and started trying to fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess the scuttlebutt is now Mr. Game 4 Skinner, the goalie who gave up 5 goals for the Oilers. He's going to be in goal for Game 4. There was some thought they'd go back to the original goalie that they had, who I do believe was like 6-0 in the playoffs before he got injured. So they had Skinner starting, and then they took Skinner out because he wasn't getting the job done. Then they put the other goalie in. He went 6-0, and then he got injured, so they put Skinner back in. And Skinner has, up to this point, been pretty good in the postseason since then. But now it's like, hey, maybe you might want to go back to the other goalie. But Skinner's supposed to be missing Game 4. He's 4-0 in Game 4s with a save percentage of like .955 or something like that.
You can always count on CJ to give us the scuttlebutt.
That's right. That's right.
They call me Mr. Scuttlebutt, Lane.
I think they just call you Mr. Butt.
Look at his shirt.
Well, they do. What's wrong with my shirt?
It's about booty diving.
I'm a big minor league baseball fan. Like, shout out to the Coastal Plain League,
Crystal Coast,
where the Moorhead Marlins play, and this is their alternate jersey. They got the booty divers. They are
It's like a team Kenny Powers would play for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Diving for the booty over there.
Yeah. All right. We'll take a break here on the Odds Couple. When we come back, we'll look at the lines for the College World Series, which gets underway tomorrow in Omaha. Also, we'll look at the U.S. Open, get you a leaderboard from the U.S. Open, and also have some nuggets on the U.S. Open. That's all next here on the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Bain drives.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Jared with a knock-away.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go, Let's go.
Javon Evans might be the John Morant of the WWE. You ask me, how do I say that? It's because Javon Evans is electrifying. He is viral. He does things you've never seen before. The most athletic guy you've never ever seen in the wrestling world. He reminds me of John in a wrestling ring. So Javon Evans, I'm proclaiming you on this day the John Morant of the WWE.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
The other thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that, they dropped these $900 hyper boots that
900.
I mean, they're a recovery shoe apparently that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they're gonna get seated this. So who's gonna actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Odds Couple. Coming up here in a little bit, we'll have our top 5 for the week.
Top 5, not 5.
Top 5, not 5. We'll have our UFL update with CJ. It is championship week. Championship week.
The U-Bowl.
And for the first time,
I don't know.
No.
For the first time since the USFL came into existence in spring football history, Birmingham Stallions aren't in it.
No Birmingham.
Yeah.
There are
Shocking.
talks. There are talks that the dynasty might be dead
Uh-oh.
after winning, 3 straight spring titles?
That's just the league.
Oh, okay.
The league that's dead.
They should call it the U Bowl.
The U Bowl.
think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good.
Got a little ring to it.
We'll also talk about Game 4 of the NBA Finals and the NHL Stanley Cup game tonight as well. Plus, from free picks before we
Free
get out
picks.
today as well. The College World Series gets underway tomorrow. The bracket is out, and boy, do we love brackets. Although this
Yep,
one's about
big
as
fan.
confusing as they come. Because it is double elimination.
Yeah,
So
this is wild.
if you lose, you move down to one of them other brackets. And if you win, you advance
To the top bracket?
to the top bracket. That's right. And so it gets started tomorrow. It's a fun bracket. It is double elimination. It's a long road. The championship will be next Sunday or next Monday, a week from Monday, June 23rd. It gets underway next Saturday, June 21st. Game 1 on Saturday. Game 2 would be Sunday the 22nd. Then Game 3 Monday the 23rd. And all the games on ESPN and ABC. You'll be able to watch them there. When you look at the lines for the games coming up this weekend as well, Arizona and Coastal, every line is 1.5 except UCLA 2.5 against Murray State. 2.5 against Murray State. They are the biggest underdog at plus 215 on the money
The
line.
Racers' luck has run out.
Yeah, Arizona is a plus 186 underdog against Coastal Carolina as well. So Arizona, a big underdog to Coastal Carolina. Louisville, the underdog against Oregon State. And LSU and Arkansas, pretty dead even there with Arkansas minus 120, LSU minus 108.
I think that
to
Murray
win.
State UCLA would be a high scoring one.
11.5. The total
All the other
there.
ones are 9.5.
I guess that's what they expect, and they expect UCLA to run them. So I don't know.
I'm taking Murray State.
I know you will.
Sticking with them.
Took them on Monday. It
They're
was
on
a
a
winner.
heater, yeah.
It was a winner. All right, yeah, Murray State, the big dog at plus 215. All right, we got the U.S. Open going on right
Yes.
now. The U.S. Open, it's time for our leaderboard update as we will
Play the music, Roser.
Go to Lang for our
Different
leaderboard
show.
update.
JJ Spawn.
Who?
In the lead.
JJ Spawn?
Yeah. 4 under.
4 under par.
4
okay.
under. In the lead by himself. There's a bunch of guys who are -3. Thriston Lawrence. How many of these guys do we know?
I don't know any of their first
Thriston
names
Lawrence, he's from
except for
South
Brooks
Africa.
Koepka.
Sam Burns, you know him?
CJ told me it was Thomas Lawrence.
No.
Thurston.
Thriston.
Thriston.
Yeah.
What a name!
It's like the guy on the Gilligan's Island.
Right, Thurston.
Thurston Howell.
He was Thurston Howell.
The third. There's also Sung J M, Siwa Kim, Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, I know that one.
He's two back, 2 under.
He eagled the 4th, and he had to make an eagle putt from about.
Is that the smallest thing ever on your phone? Look at.
He had to eagle from about.
He's like.
I mean, that had to be like 100 yards away.
Yeah.
He had to eagle that putt. That was insane.
Um,
okay.
Koepka and Patrick Reed are both 2 under. Those
Go
are
live.
names we know. Some of the bigger names have struggled a little bit. Like Bryson got off to a pretty good start. Now he's, I think, 2 back. Rory got off to a good start. He was 2 under. I think he finished 4 back. So some of those guys, I think the back 9 has been challenging for these guys. The course in general is super tough, though. Scheffler, 2 over. So like if you're going to bet Scheffler, we talk about it all
Maybe
the
now?
time. Yeah, do it. Wait. Hopefully he gets off to a bad start. You can get the odds a little bit more in your favor. Scheffler might be a guy. Another guy I saw a weird stat this week. He's finished in the top 10 of like 8 straight U.S. Opens is Morikawa. So he might be a guy you might want to look at too.
I think you're talking about Schauffele.
No, him too. There was like 3 guys.
Yeah.
It was
Xander's finished.
Scheffler, Schauffele, and Morikawa.
Xander has not finished outside he's played in 8 U.S. Opens. He has finished, the worst finish he has had in 8 U.S. Opens is T14. He has finished top 10 in 7 of the 8 U.S. Opens.
Here you go. Most
he's been
consecutive years making the cut at the U.S. Open. Schauffele and Matsuyama are at the top.
Hideki.
And then Cantlay and DeChambeau, and then Harris English and Rory McIlroy. But if Rory's going to make it, he's got to do some work now.
Yeah.
He looks so pissed off today. He picked up like the microphone and threw it.
He had a shot where
On the
he hit it
course.
into the rough.
Yeah.
And there was like a hole in the rough that he hit it into, and they were like, Well, this is where you take your medicine. You hear that all the time on the PGA. Like, you got to just take a penalty, drop it. It was a par 5.
Yeah.
He tried to play it out of there and had another disaster shot,
Yep.
and then he just was so far behind, and that's kind of what did him in. They also said Rory went 2 weeks ago and played a practice round there and shot at 81. He admitted it today on the broadcast.
Oh, that's tough. He had one, I think it was on 17. He was in the rough. I mean, the rough is insane if you see it. Like, it's ridiculously thick. And he hit it. I tried to hit it out. That thing just went 2 feet right back into the rough.
The rough looks like Chet Holmgren's
Do you
hair.
like, of the majors, do you like the U.S. Open?
I like the Masters the most, and then the British probably.
Do you like the challenges of the U.S.
I
Open,
like
or
the
is it
US,
too much?
I like it. Depends on some years. It's like, okay, this is fine. Like, this is fine. And then there are some years that it appears like this is going to be one of those years where it's like, dude, this is impossible.
Yeah.
Like, if the course is this hard on day one, it's only going to get harder. Like, that's the way they line these stuff up, is by day 4, it's supposed to be the hardest possible. I don't like it being impossible. I don't want the champion finishing over par.
Which will probably be the case.
Which is where it seems like we're probably headed. But I think, like, 4 under, anywhere between, like, a U.S. Open champion, I feel like if you get to, like, 2 under to, like, 6 under, I think that's really good.
Scheffler was the one who said Oakmont is the hardest course we will play this year. And if Scotty Scheffler's saying that, that's something.
Yeah, Scheffler was the odds-on favorite to win at plus 280, and then it was Bryson DeChambeau at plus 700, John Rahm at plus 1,200, along with Rory, and then Xander Schauffele at plus 2,200. What else we got down there? Tommy Fleetwood plus 4,000. I mentioned him because he has 7 top 5 finishes in majors, more than any other golfer without a major victory in that span.
No, he's 4 over.
He's 4 over?
He's 4 over. He was earlier. I don't know if that's what he
Who you talking
finished at. Tommy Fleetwood.
He's 4 over.
4 over. Yeah, tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 over is Fleetwood, Matsuyama, Rory McIlroy, Wyndham
A lot
Clark,
of guys are 4 over. A
Phil
lot of big
Mickelson.
names are 4
Yeah.
over. Yeah, it's a man. It's a tough day at Oakmont in Pittsburgh.
Do you know what the name of the U.S. Open trophy is? I
No.
looked it up today because I was just curious. Doesn't have a name.
Oh, yeah?
It's just because they were talking about the claret jug on the broadcast. I was like, what do they call the U.S.
And
Open?
the PGA is the Wanamaker, right?
Yeah. The U.S. Open doesn't have a name. It's just the U.S. Open trophy.
Shane Lowry, who I saw some betting publications like as their sleeper winner.
Oh, yeah?
At 45 to 1. Shane Lowry went 9 over today.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And that was with a birdie at number 3. Birdied number 3. And still ended up 9 over par. He shot a 79.
Wow.
That's it's tough.
All right.
It's a tough one.
All right, you ready for some nuggets?
Yeah.
They're all U.S. Open nuggets here today in honor of the United States Open Championship at Oakmont. The last time the U.S. Open was at Oakmont, Dustin Johnson closed with a 1-under 69 to rally from a 4-shot deficit and win his first major in 2016.
Love that.
And remember, he had like the 2-stroke penalty because his ball moved on the green too.
So I remember this vividly because I was in Chicago at a bachelor party that weekend, and we left Sunday. Me and a buddy, we were on the same flight back to Memphis, and so we were sitting right outside our gate at O'Hare. Was a Chili's 2.
Oh,
you see the airport
sequel?
Chili's? They're called Chili's 2. Yeah, like TOO.
Oh, I thought you meant like what happens after you eat at Chili's.
Well, that also happens. Especially if you have Chili's breakfast when
That's
you're
Chili's
in the O'Hare
2,
airport.
TW.
Yeah, TWO. So we were sitting at the Chili's 2. It was just a little bar right outside our gate watching the U.S. Open. Also, it was the same day that night. 2016, Game 7 of the NBA Finals. The Cavaliers completed their 3-1 comeback against the Golden State Warriors. So I flew back into town, and by the time I got back into town, landed, went home, dropped my bags off, boom, hit the bar to watch Game 7
Well,
of the
boy.
Finals. Yeah.
nice. Memorable night.
Memorable night.
How about this? Phil Mickelson's final year of eligibility for the U.S. Open is this year. He's trying to corral the career Grand Slam, and it's the only one missing from his career Grand Slam. He has not finished better than 28th in his last 10 U.S. Opens.
What does he have to finish to qualify for next year's?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know.
They said he's 55 years old, and he's +4, so he might not make the cut.
No, he's
probably right around the
got a
cut line.
chance. Like you're not. You could be Shane Lowry at 9 over. You could be Justin Rose busting on you hoes at 7 over.
Yeah. 4 over, it seems like a even par in day 2.
Go out there and shoot 2 over tomorrow and make the cut.
Yeah. Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, and Colin Morikawa could get the third leg of the career Grand Slam by winning the U.S. Open. How about that? So they're all halfway home to the Grand Slam.
It's crazy that like Scheffler and Morikawa have the same amount of Grand Slam titles.
Well,
feels like Scheffler would have twice as much.
Well, fun fact, Colin Morikawa hasn't won a major when there's been fans.
Oh.
He's like a bubble
He
golfer.
won British Open, PGA, COVID years when they didn't have anybody. The British Open canceled during COVID, that first year of COVID. The next year they just had no fans.
Yeah.
And Colin Morikawa beat out Jordan Spieth, which sucked for me because I had placed the year before a 50-1 bet on Jordan Spieth to win the British Open.
He was like
finished second,
like Gary Trent Jr. in the bubble, who was looked like a 10-time All-Star, and then gets out of the bubble and totally different.
Yeah. In the 9 U.S. Opens at Oakmont, only 8 players have shot a total score under 280. That would be par. Only 8 players in the 9 U.S. Opens at Oakmont have shot under par. So that's going to hurt you don't want to see a winner over par, Roser.
So Dustin Johnson was one of them, clearly, because he was 1 under.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The other one's what? Tiger Woods?
I don't know. I don't have that.
He just gives you the nuggets. You don't see how he cooks them.
No, that's right. Willie Anderson, Ben Hogan, Bobby Jones, and Jack Nicklaus hold the record for the most U.S. Open wins with 4. Tiger Woods and Hale Irwin are 1 behind with 3 wins each. Scotty Scheffler, who we were talking about, he is aiming to become the first golfer to win back-to-back major tournaments since Jordan Spieth in 2015.
Wow.
That's crazy. Rory McIlroy is the only player with a top 10 finish in each of the last 6 U.S. Opens. T9, T8, T7, T5, second and second in the last 2. So
He's
top
slowly,
10 the last 6.
But he's slowly gotten worse every. No, the years are backwards. He's gotten better every time.
Yeah, he's gotten better, so he's supposed to win this week.
So-
And he's 4 over?
Yeah.
Dustin Johnson, Johnny Miller, Larry Nelson, Ben Hogan, Scott Piercy, Jim Furyk, and no wonder people had him as a dark horse to win at 45 to 1. Shane Lowry shot under par the last time it was at Oakmont.
Oh.
Yeah, DJ finished at 4 under that year, but Lowry, Jim Furyk, and Scott Piercy also were all under par. Jim Furyk.
Yeah.
Man, it was like 9 years ago. Jim Furyk was still freaking hitting bombs with that goofy swing finishing under par. He did have
That weird hook on the swing. Yeah.
Yeah, a little twirl. Yeah. Shout out Jim Furyk.
Yeah.
Don't meet a lot of guys named Jim anymore.
No.
Oh, what a great American name.
Yeah.
Jim.
Dick.
Since Xander Schauffele made his U.S. Open debut in 2017, he's had 7 top 10 finishes in 8 tournaments since. More than any other player over that span. The exception was a T14 in 2022.
Yeah, Xander's he's just one of those if you're playing your daily fantasy or your weekend fantasy, whatever, for the U.S. Open. Xander's one that I always, for all of my majors, I have him. I always have him on my team because he plays well at majors. You go look at his track record at him, and he's freaking really good at the majors.
Yeah.
But been great at the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Bryson DeChambeau will aim to join Ben Hogan, Curtis Strange, and Brooks Koepka as the 4th golfer since World War II to win back-to-back U.S. Open tournaments.
He's got some work to do.
He's got some work to do. In fact, DeChambeau's last 5 majors on U.S. soil have seen him finish tied for 6th, 2nd, 1st, tied for 5th, tied for 2nd.
Pretty good. Pretty good, Bryson.
Got some work to do.
The scientist.
A winner at Torrey Pines in 2021, John Rahm, is aiming to be only the 3rd non-U.S. golfer to win multiple U.S. Opens over the last 100 years. Following
Rahm,
South Africans Ernie Els and Retief Houston.
I had mentioned, the Masters. Rahm got off to a rough start at the Masters. But he made the cut, and the weekend he snuck in there with like a top 15, top 10 at the Masters. He snuck in, and then I told you, watch out the PGA. I thought that was my pick I gave on that Thursday when it started. I said I would look at Rahm top 10. And he got in there, and he got up to second. He made a charge on Sunday, and he had some putts to get the lead. I think he got tied for the lead at one point against Scheffler coming down that back nine, and he had like 3 putts that he could have made that would have been birdie putts, and he just missed them, and then the last 3 holes just kind of fell apart. But he still finished top 10, so obviously
he's plus 1 right now.
Rahm, that's not bad. That's obviously not bad. You're right there.
He's tied with Scheffler right now.
You're in the mix. Rahm somebody to watch.
Yeah.
Clearly playing better.
Only Rory McIlroy and Xander Schauffele have had more top 10s at the U.S. Open since 2020 than Harris English. Go Dogs!
Go Dogs!
Harris English could walk in here right now, and I wouldn't know who he is.
Bunch of Bulldogs. Harris English, Sepp Straka's in there. He's pretty good right now.
They both just seem like Sepp Straka and Harris English, like 2 guys who, I know their names, and they are just the guys who you look up at typically at majors, and you're like, yeah, of course that guy's playing pretty well. I never think he's going to win, but that guy's always playing well at majors.
Yeah. Like Wyndham Clark? Not so much.
Yeah.
Wyndham Clark's triumph in the 2023 U.S. Open at Los Angeles Country Club is his only top 30 finish in 14 major tournament appearances.
That's not surprising.
Disappointing.
How about that?
Yeah, that's not surprising.
All right, there you have it for the.
Except back problems, though.
There you have it for the Nuggets here today. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got our top 5. And then we got free picks as well, and our UFL Championship update that's coming up this weekend in St. Louis. Looking forward to that. We'll take a break and come back. More of the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.
Are you ready? Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
For Jaren Jackson Jr. in 7 years to have the following resume is very impressive. Second team all defense this year. He's a 2-time All-Star. He's a 2-time first team all defense, 2-time leader in blocks. Made the all-rookie first team back in his first year in the league.
You left off Defensive Player of the Year.
And Defensive Player of the Year.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
CP the franchise. Do we hate the Pacers?
Of course. I hate Halliburton. I hate Reggie. I hate the Pacers. I hope.
Yeah, where does Halliburton rank?
Is he gonna?
Where does he rank?
Yeah, is there potential for him to be more hated than Reggie by the end of this series?
If you start flipping y'all off, for sure.
Yes. Well, first of all, they're built the same. They damn near look the same. You know what I mean? He's like reincarnated Reggie Miller.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Odds Couple, the Thursday edition of the large program. Coming up, we're going to have some free picks before we get out of here today. Wish I could have given you the Mets and Kodai Senga 7+ Ks earlier than the show, but that's going on right now. And Mets are beating up on who they beating up on? The Washington Nationals? Is that right?
I don't remember.
I think. Yeah. Oh, they're not beating up on them anymore. Well,
good.
It's 4-3.
Nice.
So hold off on what I said. We will have a UFL update. The championship's coming up on Saturday. Saturday. Okay. Championship coming up on Saturday in St. Louis. We'll have an update on that. We got a big game in hockey tonight. We'll have a pick on that. And a big basketball game coming up tomorrow night as well in the NBA Finals. But first, it's time for our top 5 in honor of the U.S. Open being played this week at Oakmont. We have our top 5 favorite golfers.
We need top 5 theme music.
We do need theme music. Top 5 favorite.
Why do I have to work, Lane?
I know. I'm sorry, CJ.
I didn't say you should do it.
Top 5 favorite golfers. Number 5 on my list is Lee Trevino. I think just one of the really cool dudes on the PGA Tour. I watched him do a clinic one time, and he was hysterical, and he was amazing. Where he could put the ball where he wants to put it. Yeah. One of the great characters on the PGA Tour. He's one of my favorites. Number 4, Keegan Bradley. My daughter is named after Keegan Bradley. How about that? Really? Yeah. And when he won the PGA Championship in 2011, we called it a miracle, just like our little baby girl.
No.
That's what I told the church when they asked why we named her Keegan. Phil Mickelson at number 3. Phil Mickelson, not only a great golfer, he was a great ambassador for the sport and a great ambassador for the city of Memphis. Every time that he came through Memphis, the way that he talked about Memphis, the city, the way that he talked about St. Jude, he was always a great ambassador for
Great ambassador
event.
for gambling also.
And a great ambassador for gambling. That's why we love him here on the Odds Couple. Number 2,
coffee.
Number 2, the great Calvin Peete. One of the great...
most accurate player ever.
Really? Most accurate player ever.
He led the PGA in driving accuracy for 10 years in a row.
How about that? 12 PGA Tour wins for Cal Pete, including a Tour Championship win as well, and one of the most stylish guys on the PGA Tour. And that's why I loved Cal
Played
Pete.
1,200 rounds on the PGA Tour, hit 1 golf ball out of bounds. That's unbelievable.
That is
unbelievable. 1 golf ball out of bounds.
Man, how many?
1,200. I hit 1 golf ball out of bounds every 9 holes. 1 in 1,200 rounds is incredible.
Wow, that is unbelievable. Shout out Cal Pete. And number 1, Tiger Woods, the greatest I've ever seen. Must-watch television. The great. Just to be able to watch the greatest I've ever seen in my lifetime, it's pretty incredible. So shout out Tiger. Thanks for all the great memories. But it's over. Lang?
It's never over. All right, I'm going to go number 5, Bryson DeChambeau. I just like how weird he is now. Roser called him the scientist. I like how he's willing to try new things. He has new irons apparently this week that he hasn't used before, and he's always trying new things and being different. I really liked it when he tried to bulk up during COVID and he put on all the weight. And during the rounds, he would be eating protein bars and stuff throughout the round to keep the weight on. John Daly, of course, we all know John Daly. Victor Hovland, I only like him because at the Masters last year, practice round, we were at the 18th hole watching, and he finished, threw a golf ball to my son as he walked off, turned around, came back, took the golf ball back, autographed it without my son asking, and gave him the ball back and walked off. And I was like,
cool.
That's classy.
That's cool.
Cool guy, Victor Hovland. Greg Norman, when I was a kid, I used to just love watching Greg Norman play. The shark, he had the cowboy hat. He always looked kind of menacing, but he was just fun to watch and was so awesome. Tiger, I saw play in person once in the 90s when he was at his apex. He was playing in Atlanta at the AT&T or Bell South, whatever the tournament was back then. And my dad and I walked the course with Tiger for 9 holes, and we got to stand close to him and watch him at his apex, and it was just unbelievable. It was kind of electric. And then last year at the Masters, got to see him again. Different Tiger, obviously now, but it was still cool to watch him play.
All right,
CJ.
All right, I will go with Abraham and Sayre.
Answer.
Cool.
The answer.
We just at 56, we would have a golf segment. We'd have to make picks, and I missed out on one. I guess we had to give 5, and I only gave 4. And I was scrambling one time and just picked a random dude on the screen. It was like, give me him. And he ended up winning the tournament. I was the king up there for like Monday and Tuesday. Like, I can't believe you called it. It was incredible stuff. Brooks Koepka, I'm not really sure why you said name some golfers, so that's another name that I know. Then we got Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
Finger guns. Love that. Can't wait for the second one of those. Chubby out there. He's
No,
not
it's
gonna
Chubbs.
Chubbs, excuse me. Chubbs is in there.
Oh, you
But
gotta
his full
slander
name,
him.
his full name is Chubby Peterson.
I think it's Chubrick.
Is it Chubrick? Chubrick? I don't know. I call him Chubby. It might just be Chubbs.
Chubbawamba.
I can't remember the full name, but you know the guy, the wise black man in Happy Gilmore. And then number one for me
Carl Weathers.
is Happy Gilmore. Yeah, Carl Weathers, R.I.P. He's not going to be able to be in the second one, I don't believe.
Hey, somebody said Happy Gilmore 2 is out. Is that true?
Is it out?
Soon.
It's
very
coming
soon.
now.
It's
I'm
very
just
soon.
July 25th.
Yeah, it's
So it's
very
like a month
yeah,
from
coming
now.
about a month. Yeah.
All right. Roser?
I'm changing my list completely, so ignore
What?
number 1 and number 5. Number 5, I'm with you. I'm just trying to be different.
go.
I love Greg because the shark logo was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
First real marketing in golf that I remember. Like,
Yeah.
I remember Tiger came along with Always Wear Red on Sundays and the Nike, and you saw his Nike logo. But like Greg Norman's the first golf I remember. Like that guy's got a brand, he's got a logo.
Payne Stewart
but-
was sort of that too.
But we're not going to go with Greg Norman
R.I.P.
at number 5.
All right, who are you changing to?
I need a golf club. We don't have golf clubs in here.
I have some in my car. Chi-Chi.
Chi Rodriguez,
Let's
just
go.
because that was always hilarious. So you would take out the club and
Do the
putter,
Zorro, yeah.
the Zorro, the sword fight, yeah. Hideki Matsuyama, just because I love the name Hideki Matsuyama.
Great name.
It's an amazing name. Hideki Matsuyama, you better call your mama. You don't want no drama. Phil Mickelson, for the very reasons you said, Fish. A great ambassador for St. Jude, for this city, for the local tournament.
For gambling.
For coffee, for wellness.
For man boobs.
And
Subcutaneous
he's in
fat.
great shape.
Remember,
Yeah.
he used to have the subcutaneous fat.
Brooks Koepka, obviously my favorite golfer today. Playing well today. Still 2 under through the front 9. Been a little rough streak since he won his 5th major and his last PGA Championship. They've been celebrating a little bit too much the last couple of years.
Hey, if you watch that Netflix Full Swing, the Brooks Koepka episode,
Yeah.
season 1, like I came away from that thing and like, oh man, he's not going to win for a while.
Yeah, and then he won, and then he
Good.
won,
Yeah.
and then
Then he went to live, and
But in the same vein, Phil Mickelson was my number 3. Number 1 was going to be Tiger Woods, and then you know what? I remember.
Change it
You know
up.
who was not a great ambassador for the city of Memphis in the St. Jude Golf Tournament here? Tiger Woods, because he never played here. So screw that guy. Roy McIlroy, old Tin Cup.
Right, man.
Old Tin Cup's going to be number 1.
All right.
Yeah. I would have gone Chubbs Peterson, but I wanted to be different from CJ there, so I like Chubbs. It's all in the hips. It's all. There's one thing you need to know about golf. Chubbs Peterson taught everybody. It's all in the hips.
All in the hips.
So yeah. Chi Rodriguez, Hideki Matsuyama, Phil Mickelson, Brooks Koepka, and old Tin Cup, Roy McIlroy.
That's right.
Shout out Rene Russo.
All right. Good stuff. Good list. Speaking of good, we got a big game. Good game set up for Saturday as it's the UFL Championship. After last week, we were down to our final 4 teams in the UFL. The Battlehawks losing to the Panthers and the Defenders knocking off the Stallions, right, last week. So now we have a matchup of the Defenders and the Panthers in the UFL Championship. There you see the scores from last week. The thing that I noticed from the scores from last week, CJ, is those look like a couple of overs.
Absolutely, they were. I hit one of the overs, went 2-2 last week. Caught the over in the Defenders, Battlehawks. Missed the over in the Panthers, Stallions. Yeah, incredible stuff, man. Good stuff right there. The thing that stood out to me while watching it was, oh my gosh, the spring football royalty, the Battlehawks and the Stallions, they're not going to be in the championship game. Like that, a spring football season that doesn't culminate in either the Stallions or the Battlehawks being in the championship game. Who would have thought that it could happen? The championship game is being played in St. Louis. The Panthers of Michigan are taking on the Defenders of DC, 2 of the higher scoring teams in the UFL. That they took care of the 2 best defensive teams in the UFL last week. So it was a battle in both of those games of top-tier defense versus top-tier offense, and both times the top-tier offense won. So here's what we got going on right now. I will tell you take the Defenders plus the 3. the defenders straight up over the 50.5. This is going to be a fun game. If you don't watch any other UFL game this season, watch this one. They're going to get up and down the field. Fun things are going to happen out there. And then first drive for the defenders, touchdown. That's sitting there plus 250. The defenders have Jordan Ta'amu, best quarterback in the league, leads the league in total touchdowns. They also have the league's all-purpose leader, Chris Rowland, and everybody remembers Chris Rowland from the Southern Heritage Classic and one of the most legendary performances that Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium has ever seen. He was incredible then. He's still incredible. He was a Black College Football National Player of the Year when he was at Tennessee State. He's out there balling out of control. Those two will carry a high-powered offense that the defenders have all the way through, and it's a turnover thing. Value the ball. The defenders are +6 turnover margin.
Yep.
The Panthers -2. So it's going to come down to that, and I think the Panthers make a couple of costly turnovers in key moments of the game that allow the defenders to take this one.
So defenders money line, right? +140.
Defenders money line and against spread. Yep.
All right, beautiful. I like it. And the total at 50.5
take the
for
over
that
there.
game, and take the over there as well. All right, we got the NBA playoffs. Game 4 will be coming up tomorrow night. This is the only time in this series where there's only one day off between the two games. They will play tomorrow night. Good that they're playing. Who's it good for that they're coming back and playing right away? Anybody? Does it matter?
I don't think it matters.
Matters. All right, who are you picking in the game?
Start with them. Let me go.
All right, Roser, game 4. Pacers
I
and
gotta go Thunder. I gotta go Thunder. If SGA is truly a great player, the Thunder are truly a great team, which the teams that have the regular seasons that they have win the title. If they truly are that, they bounce back in game 4 and they go on to win this series. It becomes a best of 3 and they win it. So I'm going to take the Thunder.
All right, CJ?
I'll take the Thunder.
All right, Lang?
One of my favorite columns in the New York Times is The Ethicist.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ethical Hoops is going to win out. I'm going Pacers.
Going Pacers.
Staying with the Pacers.
All right. I'm going to go with the Thunder as well in game 4 to bounce back. Thunder 17-2 this year when they've lost a game. That's what they've come back and bounced back. 6-0 in the postseason when they've lost a game. They've come back to win.
Do theory.
The do theory is right. The NHL playoffs, game 4 tonight. The Florida Panthers hosting the Edmonton Oilers, with the Panthers leading that series 2-1. I think the Oilers bounce back tonight.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I think we get another overtime game.
Another overtime game.
Yeah.
All right, you got the Panthers a big favorite at -150. Oilers at +130. If you're going to take the Oilers tonight, take them on that money line as well. All right, anybody got some free picks for tonight?
I do. I got some U.S. Open picks.
Roser?
We're going to give you 2 U.S. Open picks, and then, yeah, we'll give you a couple U.S. Open picks here. I like Xander Schauffele top 20 right now. He's never finished worse than T14, and he's 2 over. Finished his day 2 over. -115 to finish top 20. Xander Schauffele -115 to finish top 20. I also like, if you want to parlay, John Rahm, who's 1 over right now, currently through 8 holes. John Rahm -175 top 20. I don't really like that straight up, but if you parlay it with Xander -115, you can get to +193 right now. So a little Xander Schauffele, John Rahm, top 20 U.S. Open parlay, get you +193. And I also like a single bet on Xander Schauffele, top 20, -115. I also, if you want to live dangerously a little bit, Xander Schauffele +210 to finish top 10. And then if you want to parlay it with John Rahm top 20 -175, you get +387. So, but if you want to keep it simple, Xander top 20 -115, Xander top 20 parlayed with John Rahm top 20 +193.
All right. I like it.
This isn't a free pick, but
and are the Yankees playing? If the Yankees are playing, it's Aaron Judge and Aaron Judge homer and the Yankees.
Worth your
winning.
time and Roser, this might be something you're into because I know you're going through your memorabilia and getting rid of stuff.
Yeah.
The estate of Bill Walton is auctioning off all his stuff right now. And there's a Hunt Auctions has it online. I've been looking through it. There's stuff in there from his NBC Sports blazer. That might be, you should get that, wear it in a game. It's like
you really should.
It's like $100. It would be huge on you probably.
No, that's even better.
It's like $100, $150. There's stuff like that's affordable. There's a T-shirt, a tie-dye T-shirt from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that was like $75. It goes all the way up to like some of his UCLA championship rings are in there for $35,000 is the current bid.
Wow.
The highest thing I could find was his UCLA jersey he wore when he established the consecutive winning streak in college. It was up over $200,000 at the moment.
Wow.
But there's
I love
tons
that
of stuff.
kind
His teepee, the teepee that he had in his backyard, it's $500 right now. So
I think that'd be cool to have.
that would be awesome. Let's put it here.
Thing,
Let's get it here.
It's a
You're
backyard
moving out
thing.
east. You're gonna have a yard now. Put it in the yard. That could be your man cave.
My dog would destroy it.
CJ, you got a free pick?
I'm going against you guys with the Panthers Oilers. I'll take the Panthers in this one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I'm going with the Detroit Tigers at Baltimore, but that's minus 190, so we're going to parlay that with Tarek Skubal having 7 or more strikeouts. So take the Tigers and Skubal on the strikeouts. Also going with the Cubs and Tyon, 5 strikeouts.
All right.
I like the Detroit one better, but I'm also going with the Cubs and Tyon, 5 strikeouts.
Braves are going to win the series against the Rockies this weekend.
Who's going to win the series?
The Braves are going to beat
the Rockies.
We lost the series to the Rockies last time.
Oh, my.
So I think this weekend they got to win.
Well, I would hope so. All right, that's going to do it for us here on the Odds Couple this week. We'll be back with you again on Monday at 2 o'clock. Hope you can join us then. For CJ, for Roser, for Lang, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us. Good luck with all your bets this weekend. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you Monday here on the Odds Couple.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.